channel again. And yes, this video is about Jetpack Compose again. So if you don't know, then in Android Summit, the Android team has announced the Jetpack Compose preview version with Android Studio. And yes, it comes with Android Studio 4.0 Canary. So yes, if you have watched it already, then yeah, you can start doing this thing. Otherwise, if you are using stable version of Android Studio, then also you can watch my previous tutorial where I explain how to get started with Jetpack Compose. One more thing, guys, this video is about how to get started with Android Studio Jetpack Compose, so Android Studio Canary version 4.0 with Jetpack Compose, because it comes with by default there are some templates, and then there is a preview viewer where you can see what UI you are making. So yeah, that's the idea. And if you think that you have already watched my previous video, you want to go or you want to stay with this stable version, then also it's fine. You just need to upgrade the version of the libraries, and you are good to go. So we'll start with this new studio, Android Studio project, and we will select a template and we will proceed. So if you're already excited, then press the like button, subscribe to the channel right now, because a lot of Jetpack related videos are coming. And yeah, good part about Jetpack Compose is that, guys, it does not use the native widgets of Android. So it's everything has been written from the scratch to fix one issue, which was maintaining all those things. So if you have watched the Google I/O video, where Android team clearly mentioned this, that this was getting very difficult to maintain, and because they did some bad design in the past, so they wanted to write everything from the scratch, and that's why Jetpack Compose is for you. And declarative UI pattern is the next thing, of course. And then also remember that we are not using anything like the native widgets, so everything is drawing on the canvas like how Flutter works. Same thing same thing is happening here. And then it will work with other like your existing apps as well. So yeah, there is some backward compatibility as well. So now, without wasting your time, press the like button right now, and I'll start with a new Android Studio project. And guys, as you can see, there are some changes on the screen. So in the first row, the fourth one is empty compose activity, which we are gonna use. So I'll just press next, and now I have to give the name of my application. So I'll say, let's say, compose Canary 1, and so this is the name. And as you can see, you cannot select the language, because by default you have to use Kotlin. There is no other option. You cannot use Java. And then you can select minimum SDK, which is right now for me it's NuGet. I'll just select finish, and yes, it will do all the necessary stuff for me, writing all those dependencies in my Gradle file and all that. So yeah, we are good to go here. And it comes with some default code, which we will take a look. But before going to that, this is my project looks like. I'll go to my Gradle scripts, build.gradle application. Here I can see the compile SDK version and all that. There's build feature where compose is true, and that's a compile option, Kotlin option. So these are all of the things which I already did in my, if you remember, previous video, where I did this manually, all of this stuff, and then adding all these these libraries. So everything I did manually is now coming by default in the Canary version. And you can have Canary as well as stable version all together, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, you can take a look there. And then I'll just press sync now here. And in the res folder, if you'll see, there is no layout folder, which means that you don't have to use layout.xml files. Even if you want to use, you can use, but yeah, by default you will not get it. So that's where they are targeting. And yes, there is drawable map values. And before proceeding, I'll go to values styles.xml, and because it's right now dark action bar, so I'll set no action bar. This is also I explained in my previous video. So yes, everything is like that only. And now let me just do this build, which is it is saying, and it will refresh the preview for me. So what it means, so let me just go to this, okay, full screen mode, and you can see there is a preview on the right hand side, which will be by default. You don't have to click on a button or something. You can just select from here that you just want the editor with preview or just preview. So yeah, that's the option. But it will come using this annotation, which is this @preview. So yeah, this is happening because of that. One more thing guys, sometimes it does not work. I mean, the preview is not available, which I faced like when you will install Android Studio, when you will create your first project, then it will not work. So you need to restart your Android Studio, or maybe you need to restart it twice, then it will work suddenly. So yeah, that's a bug, but it will work. Just try to close the project, or even force quit the Android Studio, and then it works. So this is how your preview looks like. So what I'll do, I'll just delete all of the code from here. As of now, this will be just a main activity. And now if I'll just do a build and refresh, yeah, everything is gone. So the preview is also gone, so you cannot do anything here. Now we'll start how it looks. Okay, so how to work with this. So this is the main activity. What I'll do, I'll say here set content, and inside set content I have to say, what content. So I'll just say my app. Now here on the bottom I will say @composable, that I want a composable widget, and I'll give my function name my app, and yeah, that's it. So now even if I build and refresh, nothing will happen. But if I add the preview here, then yes, there will something happen. And you can see we have nothing, because we don't have anything in this, inside this function my app. Now the main part here is that whenever you are using preview with any function, or composable function I should say, then it cannot take parameters in the constructor or in the method. So why that? I mean, in the method only, right? So why that? Let's say if I try to write something like this, then this preview will give me error that this composable function with parameters are not supported. So yeah, this you cannot do. But yes, functions with parameters you can call from this particular method. So yeah, that's one thing which you need to remember. Now here I will use a material theme, because it's about material, right? Here this is the material theme. So let's try with a text. Just let's say hi Jetpack Compose. And now if I do a build and refresh from here, it will just refresh the preview. It's not something which is just the app refresh or something like that. It's just the preview refresh, and you can see hi Jetpack Compose. Now you might be wondering why it's looking like this, no device or something. So you can go to this eye icon on the top, and you can say show decorations, and it will display this. Okay, so this is how your app will look like once you will go to your normal emulator or real device. So yeah, this is the idea. So I'll just remove this thing, and I will use something called a flex column for the time being. And yes, flex column. Okay, what's happening? Okay, so I don't need this, so I'm just gonna use inflexible. And inside here guys, I will have my app bar. So I would say top app bar, or my app bar first of all. So now I will make another method here. So I will show you how it works. So I will say composable, and then I will say function my app bar. And here what I'll do guys, here I can just say that top app bar, and then I can say title, and then I will have a text saying Jetpack Compose. And now if I'll do a build and refresh, then yes, you can see Jetpack Compose. Oh, this is looking very bad, because this should come here, not there. So I'll just delete this part from here, and yes, do a build and refresh. Yes, this is what we want. So this is the Jetpack Compose. As you can see, there is some padding on here, which is not true. I mean, this is some bug, because it will look fine on the real device. Let me just run it on the real device in Pixel 3 XL emulator, and if you'll see here, it is looking good, right? There is no padding around this app bar. So yeah, that's fine. So this is probably a bug. Now if I just write preview here on the top of this, so you will see we will have two things here. One is this, and if I do a build and refresh, then you will see, okay, we have two things. One is this, and second one is this, where we cannot see anything because top app bar will not work without material theme. So let's say if I remove this, and guys, okay, let me just prove that point again. Let's say I'm not giving the title from here, rather I will pass my title from here. So let's say app bar title and is equal to, we'll copy this and we will paste it here, and then here we can say app bar title string, and then we will use this rather than that. Then you will see that this preview will not work because now we are providing the parameter in the function and this is not supported. So we can just remove it. Now we will do a build and hot refresh, and there is only one single screen. If you want to play with so many things, so you can just write preview here, you can make another method here, let's say default preview or anything, you can give it any name, default preview, to test anything. And you also need to write here composable, and then you can just say text hi Pavan. And now if I do a build and refresh, then you will see there is hi Pavan. Yes, you can see that. So yeah, this is how you can have multiple, like we can just copy and paste it here, and default preview 2, let's say, and then you will see there is a third one. So yeah, this is how it works. So let me just remove these things, we don't need this as well. So we have a top app bar, we have everything now. Sorry. So here in the part we will use expanded, and we need to give it a flag, so I'll give it 1F. And then here we can have our body, so my body, this is what I'm gonna write, and here I will make body here, so function my body, and yes, we are good to go. Now guys, what I'll do, I will create with a card, I'll create a card here, and then we will do few things here and there. So that's how we are gonna start. So let's say we are using a card, we can give it a shape, so rounded corner shape, we can give it a size, let's say 10 dp. No, okay, this is, we'll try it, we need to import it. This is fine guys, this is the card. Now inside this card, what I want, I want something like maybe so rather than this expanded, what I can do, so it will expand to the entire screen, this card will expand to the entire screen, that I don't want. So first of all, I will wrap it with a column so that it does not get expand to the whole screen. So yeah, this is fine. Now inside the card guys, I want to show an image, right? So I need some image here. So in the res drawable folder, what I'll do, I'll copy one of my images and I'll paste it here to check if that works. Drawable, and the image is abs.jpg, and yes, this is fine. Now here I will use something called a container, and we can say expand it to true, and we can give it some height, let's say 200 dp maybe, let's try, and then we can say draw image, which will draw the image. Now it needs an image, which is, if I will say it, then it is of type image. Okay, so yeah, how to use it? So what I'll do, I'll make a variable here, let's say image, I'll use the unary operator here, and I'll say image resource, and now it can take my drawable id here, so I can say r.drawable.abs, and I can pass this image. Let's try and build and refresh if that works. Okay, we don't see that image anymore. Why this is not working? That's the thing here. Okay guys, so this particular thing is not working for some reason. So what I'll do, let's remove this expanded from here. Let's just, okay, I'll come back to this later, but let's try to run this like this, and now it should work. Yes, so you can see we have this image, and now it's a part of the entire screen, so that's why I was not trying to avoid it, but yes, let's fix it. So it's taking all the flex. What I'll do, I can just say flexible, and I can use my body, and now it should work. Yes, so this is how it will look like, guys. Now there should be some padding as well. So for this card, I'll try to have some padding, so I can say padding, and padding, let's say 16 dp is fine. Now I'll move this card from here to here, and if we do a build and refresh, then it should look fine. Okay, so now we have this card. What I just don't want to use this container directly, so I'll use a column here, and here I can use this container. Then we will have some text. We will say, let's say, welcome to JetPack Compose. Okay, we can also give some style here. Let's say theme text style at 6. Okay, now let's try and build and refresh, and yeah, it looks good. So now I also want to give some padding to this particular card, because this is not looking the best. So in this column I can maybe give some modifier. I can use spacer here, spacing, basically spacing 16 dp again. Let's try. If I do a build and refresh, let's see how it looks. Yeah, this is looking much better, guys, right? The only problem with this is that this card is now looking so bad. I mean, why I'm saying this, because this image is now not circular anymore. So if I give a clip here, I don't know if that works. It should work, although if I use this here, then what will happen? Let's try this. Build and refresh, and yeah, this is looking much better, guys. But now I don't need this card anymore, so I'll remove this card from here, and let's try this. Okay, so this is looking much better now. I want to reformat it, but yeah, this is fine. So this is how it will look like, guys. Or we should give back the card. It's not looking good without the card as well. So yeah, let's go back to the card. Okay, let's try something like this first, and then yeah, welcome to JetPack Compose. What I'll do, I'll give some height as well between them. So I'll just write height. So let's say height 10 dp here. It should look good now. Yes, this is fine. Now similarly, I will have some more text here. Let's say I would say Android Studio, and I can say body 2. Similarly, I can just have a similar stuff here. I can say Canary, guys, and yeah, let's do a build and hot refresh. This is looking good, right? So this is what we can create. And now what I'll do, rather than this just one card, I will use an expanded here, and I will use something called a vertical scroller. Then I can use a column here, and then we can use a for loop, and let's say we have 5 cards like this, and then I can use my body. If I do a build and refresh, then we will have a list view. Yes, so this is looking good. Now let's try to run it on the real device, then only we will see how it looks like. And apply code changes. The app is not there. Let's try to build the app. It's working really fast. Now if I just scroll, yeah, it looks good to me, at least. So guys, yes, this is how we can start with this thing. In the next video I'll show you more stuff. like how to you know um, write all those app bars, drawer, and clickable widgets, how to deal with the state model and all these things. So yes, even if you want to know about Kotlin, then let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, and yes, that's about this Jetpack Compose, guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. So bye bye, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, good night.